Can AI reverse the damage to the environment which has been created for the last 100 years?
AI is burning a lot of energy. It has an adverse effect. Environmentalists also believe that AI is going to help us actually reverse all of that stuff.
Do you think after 50 years, countries are going to be run by AI and government is not required?
I don't think so. Unless you actually give AI control over everything and they're taken over the world, Terminator-like scenario. People are very possessive about their humanity, and I feel even governments will maintain their control.
In India, if we talk about, we have TCS, we have Infosys, we have Wipros, right?
Sure.
ये AI companies India से क्यों नहीं निकल रही? पैसे की कमी इनके पास है नहीं.
Fundamentally, it also stems from the risk-taking capability and the innovation mindset.
या billions of dollars के बाद भी risk taking नहीं है.
कहाँ है? कौन है? इनको अपना steady revenue पसंद है. TCS survives on maintenance and service revenue. When visionaries in India come, they get thrashed. I'll give you an example. Vishal Sikka was the CEO of Infosys some years ago.
Yeah.
Vishal Sikka made an investment in OpenAI and convinced the company we should invest in OpenAI. They fired Vishal Sikka and took back the investment.
Let's start today's conversation with Prateek. Prateek, let's start this conversation wherein you just introduce yourself.
Sure.
And also the kind of work that you have been doing when it comes to artificial intelligence.
For everyone, I'm Prateek Bansal. I'm a co-founder for Greychain AI. Greychain AI is fundamentally a startup which does somewhere in the realm of startup and a full-blown company. We primarily build AI agents for very large-scale consulting and BFSI clients. And we also have something called as Weaved, which is a product which lets you combine everything in your company and then build a consulting toolbox on top, so that you actually won't need a consultant. You can use the toolbox to perform any kind of consulting job analysis, any kind of slide generation, any kind of doc generation, data analysis using that tooling. So that's, in a very small way what we do.
It sounds so good, Pradeep. You're doing work which millions are talking about. In fact, everyone who's there today in the workforce or even not there, for them, artificial intelligence is like there in reality. And you're doing that work. I just need to understand from you, very basic, because people are talking about it. It's a well-known subject. It's not well understood. So let's start with the basics of artificial intelligence.
Sure.
What is artificial intelligence? What is Gen AI? What is agentic AI? And what is a combination of all three? And how is it evolving?
So let me try to keep it very simple. See, artificial intelligence as a field is how you can replicate human intelligence in some way or shape or form. So that, either software or robots or anything can perform human-like tasks in very simple terms. Traditionally, artificial intelligence was a difficult field, and we used to call them, now we start calling it traditional AI, traditional ML. In that terms, it was basically a small piece of software taught a repetitive task to perform like a human, and then we used to put it on at task. That can you do this repeat task for me, and that became artificial intelligence. That was traditional. That required a lot of training, a lot of data scientists, a lot of repeat data to be provided, and then used to build AI. So that was traditional AI, right? Then over the last 5 years, this new field of AI, which OpenAI came up with to begin with, was the field of generative AI. Now, generative is fundamentally pre-trained. Okay, people say GPT. GPT is actually generative pre-trained transformer.
That's ChatGPT?
Yeah, chat. So GPT is the model behind ChatGPT.
Okay.
ChatGPT is the chat software.
Okay.
And GPT is the model behind it.
Okay.
And it is pre-trained, which means now you don't need to give it training data. Now you don't need to put a data scientist on it. You have pre-trained the model. OpenAI has done that job for you. Anthropic has done that job for you. Trained it on everything on the internet. So it knows how humans behave, how humans write, how humans talk, how you analyze data, how you write code. It has been given everything. Now it is just a small API which you consume, and that has become generative AI in very simple terms.
Okay.
Right. And that intelligence you can just apply anywhere to do any kind of job. And that's what effectively is the field of generative AI. Now, that generative AI field of generative AI has evolved into AI agents.
Okay.
Because you realize
That's
that
agentic AI?
yeah,
that
that's
you're talking
agentic
about?
AI or AI agents is sort of a very similar thing. Now, what is an agent? Agent is somebody who has agency, that they can
Who's
perform
doing
the
your work?
task
Who's doing your work?
with some knowledge and with some decision-making power is what an agent is, right? You're giving somebody an agency. Now, AI agents fundamentally are, I had built generative AI, which had the power to think, right? Now I'm saying, while doing the power of think, can you do it in a workflow, right? Which you can also think about the workflow yourself, and you're giving it power to do that. That's what an AI agent is. You're giving it agency to think through it, and now it will start building that flow, automatically executing for that. That's what an AI agent is. And hence, once you start using an AI agent, you can start automating work.
Okay.
Right. Like for example, a bank processing step might have 10 steps. Now, if I was using my brain to do the first step, I can now use 10 generative AI elements together to do 10 steps one after the other, and I can automate the banking job.
Okay.
Right.
There's so much work which is taken over.
Yes.
In terms of workflow also.
Yes.
So, Pratik, if we talk about OpenAI, ChatGPT, Anthropic, Claude, ये run of the mill components companies हैं या फिर they are very specific in terms of their own domain?
So to be honest, all of these are very specific now,
Okay.
and now they're slowly starting to realize that they are they will have to get into the end use case part of it. Earlier, so there are three main players in the market: Google, which is doing Gemini,
Right.
OpenAI, which is doing ChatGPT,
Right.
and Anthropic, which is doing Claude. These are the three biggest players, all US based. Right. So hence US has a big monopoly over this. And then there are Chinese players like Quen, Alibaba, all of these players are coming up with their own models. Right. They are making it open source. These guys are making it closed source. The US guys. Right. So hence there is a small duopoly, monopoly, whatever, or cartel, whatever you can call it, that's being formed.
Okay.
In the geography, right? And you are becoming more and more dependent on it. Eventually, it will have to be figured out that you can have your own AI so that you're not dependent on these firms.
Okay.
Right.
So you're saying that, independence is going to be in the hands of the people who's going to work on it?
I think as of today, the independence is in the hands of big corporations in a big way, and the gap is increasing wider and wider. As Anthropic's intelligence systems are getting, Claude is becoming amazing and amazing. Your way of working, if you're not using it, you are actually way behind the competition already.
And I'm sure people do realize it today.
Yeah.
I think it's about adopting it. It's all about adopting.
Absolutely.
For the better results.
I'll give you an example. My company is a software development company, right?
You call it a software development company or it's a startup?
So it's a mix of a software service AI agents software development company plus a product company.
Okay.
So we offer a product called Weaved, but we also do service work because we work with a lot of consulting companies. They want to build their own proprietary software. So they come to us for expertise for building AI agents, and we help them build. So that's what we are.
Okay.
Right. But when I talk about, learning and all of that, I'll give you an example. Till December last year, about 20% of my company was using AI to do AI-based coding. Right. Now after January, when Opus, which is Claude's 4.6 model came out, the AI became so good in January that now 100% of my company does only AI-based coding.
Okay.
And honestly, about 5% of the work, which is review work, is done manually. 95% of the work is all AI driven. And we have become 5x productive.
So if you talk about technological advancement, it's happening on per year basis. Every 6 months.
No, it's actually becoming every 2 months now.
My God.
I'll give you an example. 4.6 came out in January. In March, April timeframe, 4.7 just came out. It is amazingly good. And after 4.7 came out, OpenAI came up with GPT 5.5.
Okay.
Which is another better model, right? So the competition is pretty hard, but they are coming up with innovation every 2 days.
Okay. So if you talk about artificial intelligence, it is touching every segment, as we know. Corporates are changing, individuals are changing, the way we consume things and build things, it's all changing.
Yes.
Now the thing is, we all know, artificial intelligence आज की डेट में अगर कोई भी अगर वेबसाइट बनानी है, कोई एप्लीकेशन बनानी है, we can do it in a jiffy, very fast, right?
I agree.
So, it's if we talk about large corporates or MSMEs or companies, right? Where is that debate and where is the right way to look at it?
Sure.
कि buy करना है या फिर build करना है?
Right. See, I'll tell you what. The bigger the organization, the risk-taking capability is lesser as compared to a startup. Because a startup,
That's fair.
That's why startups innovate more,
right?
Because they can innovate very quickly. They can take better risks because their surface area is lower, their clientele is lower, amount of investments are lower. But with larger enterprises, if you tell them start doing agentic AI coding, they will start seeing news that production software had a hack or something like that. But smaller companies are able to adopt faster because they are not that much scared of that bigger reputational risk. Right. So that's why we are seeing smaller setups are doing better jobs. Even in these larger companies, they are now small skunk works, 20 people, 30 people, 50 people, which are doing a great job. But if you want to transform a 30,000 people company, if you put 50 people at it, how much you can transform? Those 50 people can't teach 30,000 people.
Right.
So you have to give the tooling to majority of this organization. See, I used to work at BCG. BCG had given ChatGPT to every single employee. And now majority of the analysis work, search work, research work is done by ChatGPT in BCG. But BCG gave it in 2023-24.
Right.
It was that early. Now companies are realizing we have to give them. Right. A lot of companies I know, consulting companies are giving Claude to people, OpenAI to people. But these are still small setups. You're scared of giving all your data to them. right? So it's still to be observed, but fundamentally you cannot operate without this.
So if you talk about buy versus build,
Yeah,
it's a very strategic call for the companies.
it is. So to
It
be
is with
honest,
the maintenance. If you build something, that's also expensive, right?
yeah.
As you rightly said that, it has to be taken care of. Maintenance has to
See,
happen.
the cost of build has reduced because of AI.
Right.
Right. So hence it has become easier to consider a build versus buy.
Hmm.
Earlier the build decision was harder
Well, right.
because I have to had a huge get a sponsored a huge team.
Hmm.
I have to take on a bigger risk, all of that. The decision has become much easier to do as of today, to be honest. But still, if you are a large company, if you can take a small risk with a subscription for 100 people or 200 people and try it out, then a buy decision is faster.
Right.
Right, and is easier. But if you are really sure about what you want, you know the ROI will be there, people are going for build decisions.
Right.
So where very large consulting companies, they're realizing if I go by just buying an Anthropic based software that they're giving me, I'll build my dependency on it and I'll give them all my data.
Right.
But if I build my own proprietary consulting toolbox, which is just for my company and it's fine tuned for my behavior, my writing way style, my research style, I will then go for a build decision. Right.
So it's all about taking that call in terms of cost,
Correct.
in terms of control,
Yes.
and in terms of the future dynamics, in terms
Yeah.
of maintenance cost.
And it's also like if you are doing it today, build yourself, then tomorrow you'll be able to do better builds. I mean, the earlier you are, you'll realize the power of the solution, and then eventually, maybe a year down the line, you'll be too late to start first. Right. So I'll recommend you start small, but start early. Even build. Like
Right.
at least some part should be built today.
But Pratik, एक और बड़ा इसमें ना एक different angle है which I wanted to talk about. As you said, 4.6, then
हाँ जी,
4.7,
हाँ
then
जी.
this 5.5 model.
Correct.
It is ever changing, no?
Correct.
So I think
But
only
the-
experts can be
But
doing.
the ever changes in incremental, na? You are getting much better benefit. If I was getting the same answer, like if you throw in an Excel and you say I want a very complex forecasting analysis, right? That analysis in earlier model used to take a lot more time and a lot more complexity, and you had to give a lot more information. How to calculate, forecast. Even you might have to provide your proprietary methodology.
Right.
The newer models are more intelligent. They already know your methodology. Now you can ask them and they're doing a better job. So it's only about changing your prompts to shift to a better model.
Let's talk about prompts.
Yeah.
I think we had a little conversation.
Yeah, we had that.
Because people think that, for example, prompt as a word, it states that छोटा सा कोई command दे दो काम खत्म. But I think what you said is कि अपना पूरा उसे brain fog दे दो.
Yeah.
And then the result is going to be much better.
See,
so what's your
cool. So there
learning
are
for that?
two kinds of worlds in prompts. Okay, one world is the developer world. Okay, and one world is the regular user world. See, developer world has to be highly deterministic as a prompt because I want the software to follow step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 in a perfect way. Otherwise, the software will mess up. Right. So developers write very structured prompts. But if you are a day-to-day user, if you are an HR function, marketing function, or you're doing
individual
a day-to-day job,
people,
or education, or whatever you are doing on a day-to-day basis, you have to take care of two things, right? Treat that your AI is an intern, but a very well-read intern who knows how to do design, how to do marketing, how to do research, all of that stuff. But it has to know what you want. Right. So I tell people your prompt is a composition of two things. One, an instruction, and second, a context. Right. And that instruction is very simple. I want कि ये document यहाँ से यहाँ आप मुझे ये पैराग्राफ दे दो, मुझे ये पैराग्राफ दे दो, मुझे ये पैराग्राफ दे दो, और इसके पीछे यहाँ से रिसर्च कर लेना.
Right.
और सेकंड, कुछ आपको उसमें प्रोप्राइटरी टोन ऑफ वॉइस डलवानी है, अपने तरीके से बात करना है, वो कॉन्टेक्स्ट हो गया.
वो कस्टमाइज
कि मेरे बिजनेस के बारे में इन्फॉर्मेशन इसको पता ही नहीं होगी.
Right.
So let me give that information to the system.
Right.
And if you give this well, I am not saying structured. You just start talking to it and write you long prompts. Right. I know people who are like, build me this marketing campaign for blah 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 and write a two-line sentence. Marketing campaign तो अच्छा नहीं आया. When I write my marketing campaigns, I talk to it for 5 minutes in at least 2-3 pages. And then I tell it, and I don't talk in a structure. I'm like, oh, I want this, but तू ना logo भी डाल दियो, तू ना ये भी कर दियो, and you do this, and then it's able to create a great, this thing. And then you iterate on it. Right. That's the best way to do it. And without trying, you don't learn prompt engineering. As simple as that.
I understand.
Because you'll know the limitation of the model.
So it is completely dependent on the prompts and the instructions that we are giving to the tool.
Correct. So as I said, treat your intern as a PhD in some stuff.
Okay.
And whenever he builds something for you, he or she builds something for you, you tell it to iterate. आप आज की डेट में ऐसे तो ऑपरेट करते हो अपनी कंपनी में. आपकी टीम में कोई टीम मेंबर आपके तो मुझे ये बना के दे दे मार्केटिंग का कोलैटरल. अच्छा नहीं बना, इसको रिवाइज कर दे. वैसे ही ट्रीट करो. If you are able to do that, you'll realize, and slowly you'll also realize कि 4.7 versus 5.5 की limitation क्या है. ये चीज अच्छी ज्यादा करता है, वो ये चीज ज्यादा अच्छी करता है.
Which is a normal thing, you know. एक
हाँ,
दो
जैसे आप
competitive
humans से
products
करते
में
हैं.
ऐसे ही होता है.
बिल्कुल, दो ह्यूमंस बीइंग की वजह से होता
दो
है.
human beings
आपने
में
एक
ऐसे
ही
होता
टीम
है.
में दो मार्केटिंग के लोग लगाए हैं,
Right.
two design people. One might do a better design, might do a different design, but that might do a different, better design in something else. This might do a better design. Similar are models,
Similar model.
right?
Correct.
And as they are getting better, they're getting better at it.
प्रतीक, एक बज़वर्ड है. जब से आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस की बात हुई है ना,
Sure.
फिर जेनआई की बात हुई.
Sure.
इट्स अ नॉर्मल अंडरस्टैंडिंग द मार्केट, या जॉब्स जाने वाली हैं. आपको क्या लगता है, मतलब इज दैट अ केस इन दिस पॉइंट और नॉट?
See, there is going to be a transitional phase, in my opinion, and we are seeing that in our industry. There are going to be jobs which are going to get lost because people are not upskilling themselves on time, and the enterprises are also to blame because they are not giving you enough tools to try on.
And even time.
And time.
Yeah.
That's very fair. And when they give it the tool and they're saying, I want immediate productivity, नहीं आई तो हम 2-3 महीने में टूल हमको ROI नहीं दिख रहा, हम टूल ही बंद कर देंगे.
Correct.
Right. So this was the biggest problem in every company. So jobs का scene ये है कि people who are self-learning, I know a lot of people, मेरी company में भी, who without me asking have bought AI tools themselves to do their day-to-day job.
Right.
Right. और वो लोग काफी शाइन कर रहे हैं. I had developers who were very juniors and now have become senior architects in my company.
Is it?
In a span of 8 months.
Okay.
Because they have become full application builders end to end and doing great applications because वो architecture पे भी AI पे rely कर रहे हैं. They are talking to AI, doing transactional. और जो experienced engineer था, उसको अपने पुराने ways ही चाहिए. उसको खुद कोड में घुसना है. He has to figure out
वो
everything.
फंसा हुआ है उस
वो
point
फंसा
पे.
हुआ अपने
वो फंसा
mindset
हुआ
में. वो कह रहा है मुझे API बना दे और ये junior developer कह रहा है मुझे feature बना दे.
Right.
बहुत डिफरेंस है. वो छोटी चीज बनवा रहा है, वो पूरी चीज बनवा रहा है. सो माइंडसेट वाले लोग बहुत डिफर. कमिंग बैक टू योर क्वेश्चन, आई फील देयर इज एज आई सेड ट्रांजिशनल पीरियड. इवेंचुअली देयर इज गोइंग टू बी अ लॉट मोर जॉब्स देन व्हाट देयर आर टुडे.
Okay.
Right, especially when you talk about के इंडिया मार्केट का क्या
We are
होगा.
happy. We are happy about it.
हाँ,
Yeah.
मतलब there is I am hiring a lot of people, but also I am also moving out a lot of people who are not picking up AI.
I understand.
Right, so there is going to be that phase for
So
sure.
if we talk about AI people and people who are not doing well,
Yeah.
it's a simple case scenario that performance is an issue. As simple as that.
Absolutely.
If we know that the person who uses this tool, his performance is better,
Absolutely.
and अगर वहाँ पे कोई hitch है, then performance is not coming. As simple as that.
As simple as, and in our firm as well, we have so like for example, a standard 3 rating is meets expectation in most of the companies. Our meets expectation is not using AI or becoming more productive than 1x. Because I have given you all the tools. I have bought you a $200 max plan per month. I want you to give me 2x productivity or 1.5x. If you're not giving, you'll get that 3 rating or a 2 rating and you'll move out.
Right.
Right. So it has to be linked to performance.
Right.
And it's a very simple criteria.
Right. So if you talk about the job market, the jobs will remain, but there's a transition which is happening,
Yes.
and the pie will increase as per you, which is
I think
which
pie
was
will
the case with computers also, with other
Yeah.
softwares also.
So I was talking to you earlier
Yes.
about this. When people used to build manually HTML websites, right? So you used to build, one person would build one website in 2 months or whatever. Then suddenly WordPress came. When WordPress came, everyone in their households started to build websites. There were millions of websites. Now when you have millions of websites, you will have millions of developers build using WordPress, and you will have millions of people maintaining it.
Right.
So
Right.
like the build decision you talked about, if I'm going to build 40 software in my company, I'll have to maintain it also.
Right.
Even with AI, I'll need some people to maintain it.
So with a simple math, we know it's going to increase.
Yeah,
As simple as that.
it's gonna increase. I mean, and it all depends on who takes the pie faster and easier.
If we talk about artificial intelligence, Pradeep,
Yeah.
who owns it? Organizations owns it? Government owns it? But look at the whole scenario.
See, to be honest, right now it's three companies controlling the AI world, as I told you earlier.
Right.
And a very clear example is,
Three companies, but one country.
One country.
Yeah.
China is making a big move. China has actually done well. Like for example, Middle East companies don't want to send their data to US, so they don't want to use US models. So they are deploying Chinese open source models in a sovereign way in Oman,
Okay.
in Saudi Arabia,
The
in other countries.
Middle East part of the world.
They are doing that instead of. So China is actually making a move there, right? But typically these three big companies who have amazing AI are controlling it, and even the US government is not able to control it, right? For example, Anthropic was there in the government sector in the US, and then they called in Anthropic and said, we need root access to your AI, right? And Anthropic refused. And even
there
the
was a
government-
story. There was a story.
There's a whole
there.
story
Yeah.
behind
Yeah.
it. Right.
So they refused.
Yeah.
They could
Will
refuse.
not tell you, and they were dropped from the government, but they didn't care. They have enough business out there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So you talk about the organization. They are the ones who are controlling it.
Absolutely. At least for now.
When it comes to artificial intelligence, what are the things that the artificial intelligence can do? I'm sure there are many things. can do better than humans in terms of efficiencies and stuff like that.
Sure.
Is there anything which even the human error today will exist and will always exist? Any such jobs, any such
See, as long
expertise?
as any which is the human is going to teach the AI on what to do,
Hmm.
or tell the AI or give the context on what to do. So if they stop, so if the humans actually introduce that bias into the AI, the human error is also going to flow into the AI.
Right.
Right. So human error is any which is going to prevail to a good extent. But to be honest, if today I'll give you another example. Most of these models are trained on the best developers of the world. Right. Now my junior developer, if they'll use this AI, he's going to do a better job. His human error is going to reduce to a great extent. But if he writes an amazingly bad prompt to that AI, then he'll also get bad output.
Right. So it's all about prompts in that case.
It's all about your knowledge, your expertise, how much you're using it, your experience, and the more you use it, the more you'll realize.
As you said, when it comes to your work,
Yeah.
financial services is the domain industry that you look at,
Financial industry and the consulting sector.
and the consulting
Yeah,
sector. If you talk about other industries,
Yeah.
for example, you talk about EPCs,
Yeah.
you talk about oil and gas, you talk about real estate.
Yeah.
Do you see that there's an impact on those industries also now, or will it come later?
So there are two types of areas. One is when they're dealing with their customers, and when they're dealing with their internal staff. Internal transformation is accelerated, right? Like for example, analytics departments, marketing departments, procurement.
Those researchers,
those are
those data
research,
points.
data points. All of those teams are accelerating. So that adoption is faster. The other adoption is the customer facing adoption. Even in BFSI, even in manufacturing, wherever. In those cases, the software has to be really good and really deterministic as a software. Otherwise, my customer interaction can be really messed up. Right? There, people are taking it slow. It was very accelerated 1.5 years ago, 1 year ago. Then there was a lot of cases out there where customer service has got messed up. Somebody gave bad warranty claims. Refund was given wrong.
all that is happening.
That is slowly improving, but it's a slow cycle. Right.
हम जो बात कर रहे थे ना माइंडसेट की यार चलता है. For example, any company, it's about 3 generations, right? There is a leadership, a guy around 45-50, middle management around 25-30, and then there's a starter. Right? So if you look at the organizational structures and charts, who do you think is a stoppage right now in terms of adoption when it comes to AI?
See, as I said, I work with consulting firms. I have realized even younger folks who were stuck who actually have grown well, are in senior positions, even those guys are very hesitant to try on these new tools. Right? They are like, मेरा domain छिड़ जाएगा, मैं अपने domain का expert हूँ, ये कहाँ से मेरा काम कर लेगा, right? Or it might be risky to use it. But I am also seeing very senior leaders who are like, मेरे सर पे pressure है, मुझे बनाना है कुछ. Because even like CXOs, CIOs have a huge pressure to try on AI and deliver ROI also. Right. So a risk phase last year तक था जब when people doing POCs. Now everyone wants things in production. Right. So that phase is slowly changing. But I would say कि अभी it's still, people are still waiting and watching. A lot of organizations.
When it comes to, again, artificial intelligence, there's so many topics to talk about. We're talking about organization, we're talking about productivity. Let's take this little forward and understand what's the impact of AI in terms of education. Because, I'll tell you, you have kids, we also have kids.
Sure.
There's so much which is happening, which is ChatGPT kind of world.
Correct.
That is created for them, right?
Correct.
Which is very repetitive. Everyone is coming with the same thing.
Correct.
What will happen to the cognitive skills? What will happen to the critical thinking? What's going to be an impact there?
I am not a child expert, so I can't tell you cognitively how a child will get impacted, but I can tell you why I feel we should give access to a controlled AI to a kid. See, when you were in school, when you moved into 9th standard, 10th standard, you started to use a calculator, right? If I would have not given you a scientific calculator back then, you would have been doing sin theta, cos theta manually, right? Now that I have a smarter calculator available for my child to access, why will I not give my child that access to that to become more, to deliver more stuff, right? But I also agree that at a very young age, the regular cognitive teaching has to be done. Your intelligence and analytical capabilities have to be done, but you have to also be given these tools to accelerate your thinking process, accelerate your stuff, and to learn more. Right? What it should not substitute is, if I had to learn the basics of science, I don't learn it and I let the AI do it. I learn it and then I use AI to learn
To
more
further expand
areas जो मेरी टीचर नहीं सिखा रही मुझे.
Right.
मैं वो एरिया सीख सकता हूँ. Like for example, my son is in 6th grade. अभी AI is getting introduced for him, but he has been learning with me since 3rd standard. So his knowledge of AI is very very good. He's able to use these tools very, very good. The other day we were talking about editing fast kar lete hain. But we are figuring out how to do with AI, or otherwise we'll use an editor for that. So there are these areas we're exploring. But yes, kids, I mean, to be honest, you have to give them access to AI. Others, they will also stay behind, just like hum corporates ke liye keh rahe hain.
Right. So, in fact, I have an opportunity to meet your son today.
Sure.
And I would like to introduce him also and get him here later for sure.
Sure.
Smart kid for sure, who's using AI. There's a difference that I can see. So when it comes to education, you're saying that it's important to be given that power to the kids and that data to the kids.
And to be honest, if you look at CBSE's last year curriculum, AI was not there. They have also, Indian government has also realized we need to teach people AI. And now everyone in India, and CBSE has just introduced AI as a subject. They're replacing certain classroom sessions with AI sessions.
Right.
Because of this. So AI has to come in education.
When it comes to AI, it's a far-fetched thinking that I have. Organization, individuals, that's happening. Is there anything else which I was just thinking during this brainstorming to have a discussion with you?
Sure.
Can AI reverse the damage to the environment which has been created for the last 100 years? Can it really bring back those species in the future which has become extinct? Is there a possibility?
Yeah, so there are two areas here. One is AI is burning a lot of energy. It is consuming a lot of energy. So it has an adverse impact on the network as well. But environmentalists also believe that AI is going to help us actually reverse all of that stuff. An example is Google's AlphaFold, which was a protein initiative. They actually launched 200 million proteins with AI. Now the research on human reverse aging, other proteins in the world, bringing back old species, these old proteins are actually helping change that.
Right.
So yes, so it's just started to actually revolutionize. It's a I would say 10-20 year journey to change the way environment works. But I think AI is only going to give solutions to improve your environment. It's going to come.
So possibility will remain when it comes to
Absolutely.
artificial intelligence.
Absolutely.
So Prateek, when it comes to artificial intelligence, let's understand more technically.
Sure.
What are LLMs? What are those abbreviations, and how does it really function?
Cool. So generative AI fundamentally is basically it's generating words. If you use ChatGPT, you will realize there is one word after the other, right? So it's actually you put in a sentence, who's Mahatma Gandhi? It's gonna see that sentence, predict the next word, Mahatma, then see the whole sentence again, predict Gandhi is the father of the nation. Is going to start predicting one word after the other. That's what generative means. Okay. Large language model is just another word for generative models that we use. So we also call them GPT, which is generative pre-trained. I talked about that earlier. And then it's also called LLM, which is just the architecture behind the मॉडल राइट जैसे हमारे घर में एक आर्किटेक्चर होता है तो वही आर्किटेक्चर है उसके पीछे का एंड एलएलएम व्हाई बिकॉज ऑल इट हैज अ लार्ज डेटा सेट बिहाइंड इट पूरा इंटरनेट पूरा विकिपीडिया सारी बुक्स दुनिया की जितनी नॉलेज अवेलेबल है सब उन्होंने डाल दी उसके अंदर और बोला इसके पैटर्न स्टडी करके यू फिगर आउट
थ्रू मशीन लर्निंग आल्सो
थ्रू मशीन दैट इज मशीन लर्निंग एआई इज बिल्ट यूजिंग मशीन लर्निंग राइट एक मशीन बार बार एक पैटर्न को स्टडी कर रहा है और देख रहा है कि आप लिखते कैसे हो सेंटेंसेस कैसे लिखते हो उन सेंटेंसेस को रेप्लिकेट करके पूरा पैटर्न डाल देगा सो इसको एलएलएम कहते हैं और फिर उन एलएलएम्स को आप चेन टुगेदर करोगे तो आप उनको एजेंट्स बना सकते हो
So this is the science behind the artificial intelligence.
Yeah,
that is the model.
That's the core architecture behind generative AI. And there are multiple types of architectures coming out. अभी LLM आया थोड़े टाइम में एक diffusion LLM आने वाला है.
Tell us more about it.
हाँ, वो different technology है, different architecture way of doing it, but fundamentally slightly different maths to do it, ताकि उसको faster कर सको, cheaper कर सको.
Right. So Prateek, when it comes to you, AI kind of a person, the company, the person who's running that company, it's so important to be on the toes, no, on daily basis. What is Anthropic doing? What is Claude doing? It's all generative AI.
Absolutely.
Gemini, ChatGPT, it's all that, right?
It's all that, but fundamentally it changes every day. Right, the technology is changing every day. The intelligence levels are changing. What you can do with it is changing. Plus, people are building the scaffolding around it to use it in a better way. Right, all of that stuff is changing. So, for someone like me, if you look at my phone, my Instagram, my YouTube feed, everything is generative AI. Right, apart from my interest in cars, every other video that I see is generative AI. Right. So I have to see at least 2 hours of content every day to keep myself updated. I also train a lot of large enterprises, CXOs, etc., etc. And when I do that, I am updating my deck every 2.5-3 weeks. Because the models are changing, because something new got launched. Now, if I'm going to train somebody on a model that got launched in January versus April, I'll have to talk about the model in April.
कोई बुलाएगा भी नहीं.
हाँ, eventually होता है ये है. But I'll be very honest, they don't know yet.
So
the
there's a-
organizations
there's-
are also not aware.
Yeah. So there's a long gap. There's a large gap which has to be filled.
So I am seeing trainings. People are training stuff that was being taught that came out in 2024. Even people are getting trained on that now, and hence some people are lagging behind even with bad training. So training, even the training folks are not able to catch up to the amount of change happening in the industry. क्योंकि आप किसी भी large कंपनी में जाते हो ना, ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम बनता है 3 महीने लगा के, 4 महीने लगा के,
Right.
तब तो टेक्नोलॉजी बदल चुकी है.
Yes.
आप चेंज कर लो, कितना कुछ चेंज करोगे आप, कोई ऑनलाइन प्रोग्राम चेंज, सब चेंज करना पड़ता है.
So आपकी बात सुनकर मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है जो इसमें early starters है ना,
हाँ.
and early adopters,
Yeah.
I think they are the ones who's going to survive really, really well.
See, for us, to be honest, Greychain as a company was a mobile app development company. In 2023, I realized कि ChatGPT 2 आया था पहले. वो आया ही नहीं था. It was closely available. Right? Closed folks को available था. I started using that and I realized what is the power of this whole thing. Then I got into ChatGPT 3 release and then I was on that trail. And I completely flipped my own company from doing mobile app development software development purely AI agents because I saw the future.
Right.
Right. And then eventually now we have a very good advantage. Now we are a niche AI agents player. We are able to do a lot of this custom stuff, which not even these large consulting players, large technology players are able to do. In fact, they use us
I'm sure.
to do that work.
Because I think they're too big.
They're
And
too
they're not swift that ways, you know.
I mean, to be honest, some organizations, to their credit, like I know McKinsey, I know BCG, I've been in BCG before. I know these guys are doing an amazing job, and they're learning very quickly. And they've actually BCG has transitioned 40% of their business to AI business now, right? And they're doing implementations also. So some organizations are very swift, but not every organization is swift.
प्रतीक एक क्वेश्चन मैं आपसे डेफिनेटली पूछना चाह रहा हूँ.
Sure.
In India,
हाँ.
if we talk about, we have TCS, we have Infosys, we have Wipros, right?
Sure.
They're not the product companies, but they're software services companies,
Absolutely.
right? Very big, 6 lakh
Yeah.
people, best of the brains, stuff like that.
Yeah.
ये AI companies India से क्यों नहीं निकल रही हैं? With the way it has to be produced.
See,
We have everything. These are big groups.
Yeah.
पैसे की कमी इनके पास है नहीं.
I
But
agree.
why not that initiative?
See, fundamentally, it also stems from the risk-taking capability and the innovation mindset.
या billions of dollars के बाद भी risk taking नहीं है.
कहाँ है, कौन है? इनको अपना स्टडी रेवेन्यू पसंद है. Everyone likes कि मेरा TCS survives on maintenance and service revenue. So जितना वो सॉफ्टवेयर बना के देते हैं उसकी मेंटेनेंस ही करते रहते हैं 100 लोगों की टीम एक कंपनी के अंदर. So their bread and butter is that. They are not motivated enough to do a lot of innovation. There are teams which are doing innovation, but how much? In 6 lakh people, maybe 10,000 are doing innovation.
Not even 10,000.
But how do you spread it in 6 lakh people?
Right.
Right. The other thing is, then when visionaries in India come, they get thrashed. I'll give you an example. Vishal Sikka was the CEO of Infosys some years ago.
Yeah.
Vishal Sikka made an investment in OpenAI back then
Okay.
and convinced the company we should invest in OpenAI. They fired Vishal Sikka and took back the investment.
Is that so?
Yes, this is the clear Infosys story. This happened. Now Vishal Sikka has opened up his own AI company. He's running that. So जो visionary India में आता है उसको वैसे ही थ्रैश कर देते हैं क्योंकि वो रिस्क टेकर होता है. So ये mentality का बहुत फर्क है. Plus there is also a big difference of investor money. The investor taking risk capacity
It's different from a.
It's very different.
It's very
They are
different.
ready to take risks in 20 billion, 30 billion, 40 billion.
क्योंकि उन्होंने पैसे वैसे
I
ही
meet a
कमाए.
lot of investors as an Indian startup which is doing all R&D in India. I've been able to build software which US based companies are building, right? And the investors that come to me, the Indian investors, their mindset is, I'll give you a 2x, 3x of revenue. When I talk to a US firm, they talk in potential of my software and solution, and they talk about future revenue, and their valuation is at least 3x of what an Indian company is giving me as of today.
So approach is very different.
Approach is 100%. They're much more risk taking. They take bigger risks with bigger things.
I was just thinking about it. Such large organization, they could have really invested. But I think you told me the Vishal Sikka story, which is an eye opener.
Huh?
Visionary he was.
Yeah. He was a visionary, but he was also a big risk taker. Maybe there were other factors, but still, it's a clear
But
story.
Pratik, I think ये public limited companies है ना. It's a shareholding pattern.
वही तो कह रहा
You know
हूँ,
that capability is very curtailed.
But the difference is, Google is also a public limited company.
Yeah.
But Google has its skunk works. Google invested in DeepMind, and Google started to build all of this stuff themselves. Right? So eventually they realized we are going to invest, and they saw AI as a future. But
So I think
वो
they
vision
are real investors.
they invest in their own solutions.
They invest in the solutions or anything which is in the periphery of those solutions.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what they invest in.
And they buy also.
They buy
They bought Waymo for autonomous cars. उसकी पूरी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन इन्होंने देखी थी. ऐसे ही करके दे बॉट डीप माइंड वो चला रहे हैं. डीप माइंड से तो ये निकला था सारा. इनफैक्ट इफ यू डोंट नो दिस, in 2018 a paper came out called Attention is All You Need. It was a research paper,
Okay.
which was Google's research paper. And the core technology behind these GPTs or OpenAI is actually that paper which Google came out with. OpenAI operationalized is much faster.
Hmm.
तो एक्चुअली गूगल भी नहीं जीता था वॉर.
Hmm.
जो अगर ये कहोगे आप AI की, OpenAI became suddenly big
Hmm.
because OpenAI was able to monetize what Google was doing because Google was less of a risk taker.
Hmm.
But then Google eventually realized that we should also take risks, we should grow fast, and Google has caught up.
That's really good to know.
Yeah.
So you were talking about energy consumptions and
Yes.
the other side of AIs,
Yeah.
right? That we're talking about.
Yeah.
So what other threats do we have for the larger organization,
Sure.
for the economy?
Sure.
I'm sure there are no threats for the economy. It's always going to go bound.
Yeah, yeah.
But other threats that you would foresee. You talk about deepfakes. You talk about
Yeah, so I think, see, deepfakes and all will be there. To be honest, I feel, and maybe I'm wrong, but to a certain extent, if everyone's deepfake will exist, people will stop caring.
right.
Agar if for two people there is a deepfake, everyone will be like, oh, this is happening, this is scary, blah blah blah. Agar सबका ही deepfake है, everyone will be like, हाँ, ये तो होता ही रहता है. Eventually it will happen because there will be so much volume of all of this stuff, right? And that's what a lot of these big players have started to think कि हम सोचते ही नहीं, आने दो कुछ भी आएगा. Right, we'll figure it out. But there are other risks, like for example, the threat of this energy consumption is there because these are very heavy technology, consuming stuff. And when you're going to invest so much, you're going to also hire people. Just say, Meta is firing 10,000 people because they're investing in AI infrastructure, right? The other risk is cyber attacks, hacking. अगर इतने अच्छे tools मेरे हाथ में आ जाएंगे, तो I'll start hacking.
Right.
Right, I'll be able to hack easier, do all of that stuff. So वहाँ भी impact है, right? But I think apart from that, I would say if you give a gun to a normal person and he has bad intent,
misuse
he will
is
be able
bound
to.
to happen.
So अगर आप किसी के हाथ में इंटेलिजेंस दे रहे हो और कह रहे हो ये इंटेलिजेंस इन अ बॉक्स है, तो वो उसको एक्सप्लॉइट तो मल्टीपल फील्ड्स में करेगा. चाहे वो फ्रॉड करने के लिए करे, चाहे फेक इन्फ्लुएंसर्स बना दे. देयर आर सो मेनी फीमेल फेक इन्फ्लुएंसर्स नाउ ऑन AI on Instagram and they're getting paid. People are buying their subscriptions.
Yes.
So intent अगर खराब है, तो this can also go far and wide.
So Pratik, my point is when it comes to US, they have
Sure.
made this artificial intelligence.
Sure.
They're the ones who are ruling the roost, right? बट मुझे लगता है ये प्रोडक्ट उनकी कंट्री के लिए बिल्कुल वैलिड था.
Fair.
वेयर इन द पॉपुलेशन इज नॉट मच,
Fair.
कंजम्पशन इज हाई,
Fair.
वर्सेस इंडिया,
Sure.
जहाँ पे यू टॉक अबाउट इंडिया,
Yeah.
आई थिंक इट इज वेरी लेबर इंटेंसिव.
I agree.
मतलब यू टॉक अबाउट BPO,
Yeah.
आप KPO की बात करो,
ठीक है.
इट इज जस्ट डूइंग अ मंडेन जॉब, जहाँ तक मुझे लगता
I
है.
agree.
R&D कैपेबिलिटीज कम है,
I agree.
यहाँ रोड्स इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, यहाँ पे मैनुअल लेबर यूज होती है.
I get it.
अगर कहीं भी थोड़ा इम्पैक्ट होगा, मुझे लगता है दिस इज नॉट द प्रोडक्ट फॉर इंडिया.
See,
व्हाट्स योर कॉल?
I feel there are two kinds of work categories. One is knowledge work and one is physical work.
Hmm.
See, physical में it's a no-brainer because US में shortage है. And इसलिए Mexican labor आती थी, used to do all of that stuff. But if you want to do farming, all of that, इसलिए robot suddenly बहुत बड़ी theme बन गई है. Tesla is investing in cyber bots, all of that. But when it comes to knowledge work, again, as I said earlier also, I have a contradictory view. My contradictory view is that Indians will still be cheaper. But yes, there are certain jobs, like you said, BPO, KPO, which are very repeatable tasks.
Right.
Right. Those are at a risk, for sure. There's going to be a big impact. But in the other areas, no. I feel we are going to do a better job, we can do a faster job, and we'll do a cheaper job. Right. So there are where जहाँ intelligent काम होता था, वहाँ तो I feel it's gonna impact US more than India. और हो भी रहा है. People are getting more fired in US as compared to India as of today.
So I think that safety net is definitely there.
There, but on certain jobs. I would say not every job.
So if you talk about a lawyer, if you talk about a doctor, if you talk about a researcher, who is at the biggest risk when it comes to AI? The first impact?
I think the knowledge worker for sure.
For sure.
Doctor and lawyer, less. Obviously, there are certain parts of a legal profession, like for example, contracting, drafting, reviewing. Those are jobs that are reducing. Like I have a lawyer friend, she's very troubled because people are not coming for contracting work. Like even when I want to make an MSA or an SOW, I am using Claude to build my SOW or an MSA. Right? And then I send it to her for a 2-hour review, not for a full review. Earlier, she would have charged me 50 hours. Now she's charging me 2 hours. So there is a clear impact. But still that end level of review from a lawyer, human lawyer, is required. It's part of the regulatory environment, even for a doctor. So those jobs are not getting impacted in the sense that you will still do the higher level work.
Got it.
Right. But at a knowledge work level, you can really automate a lot of the stuff. Bank processing, KYC processing,
it's all happening.
Insurance processing.
It's all happening.
All of that can be automated.
Right.
It's a repetitive task.
Also, you told me about your son, Ahan. He's here. I would also like to speak a little with him.
Sure.
10-year-old talking so much about AI. Like father, like son. It's a privilege to speak to Ahan. Just 10 years old. And I spoke to him for 5 minutes. I could understand, this person should be on the camera. Hi, Ahan.
Hello.
Hi. Ahan, tell me about your journey about artificial intelligence. What do you know and how much do you know?
I know a bit about artificial intelligence that it's a tool that can help us in like our daily lives. Let's say you have like something small to do, you can't understand something small, then then you can ask artificial intelligence to do that. What I do not suggest is that using artificial intelligence for everything, because like I feel like artificial intelligence is like going to take over the world. Not a lot though, because sometimes it can, but it can also not, because like let's take artificial intelligence. Normally if you're using it for your daily lives for help, just like I said, it's useful, but it's not going to take over the world. It's not going to come out of the computer and take over our lives. No, it's not going to do that. So yeah, that's my take on
What's the
that.
thought process about Claude? What's the thought about Claude, Anthropic?
Claude, I think what it should improve on is Claude Code, because I've seen that Claude Code should once I tried coding with Claude, and what happened was I tried coding it. It wrote it entire code. It took like 10 to 15 minutes. There were a bunch of bugs. I told all those bugs, fix it please for the game. I really wanted to actually work, because because at that time vibe coding was the trend. So yeah, I did that, and then after like a few, and then you know what it did? It completely rewrote the code again. So on in my opinion, they should just the Claude bot should just go inside that code and just fix the bugs like that, not just rewrite the entire code again. So yeah.
आपकी जो एजुकेशन है, आपका मैथ, साइंस, एसएसटी जितने भी सब्जेक्ट्स हैं,
हाँ.
आपको लगता है उन सब चीज़ों में भी आपकी हेल्प करता है? Do you use artificial intelligence, AI tools for that?
Sometimes when I like do not understand the question that I have in my
Hmm.
homework, then I can like ask it like how, like I don't ask the plain answer. I just ask like how to do it, because like sometimes we have questions that you cannot understand. So that's.
Okay. So you are well versed with the technology which is coming up and which you're using.
Yeah, I mean, if my father has an entire company based on AI, I should have some sense on what's going on.
सुपर यू आर, थैंक यू सो मच। अहान, अगर आप आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस यूज करते हो और
Yeah.
टूल्स यूज करते हो, किस चीज के
Yeah.
लिए करते हो? होमवर्क के लिए करते हो, गेम्स के लिए करते हो, असाइनमेंट्स के लिए करते हो, टेस्ट के लिए करते हो, किस चीज के लिए करते हो?
I use it sometimes to like help me when I cannot understand like the work that I'm trying to do. Then I can use it in that sense also. But I also use it sometimes to make some fun game, because I find nowadays games are boring. And yeah, I find that games to be boring. I also wanted to talk about like how AI is taking over YouTube. First of all, AI is not taking over YouTube. There is just AI slop shorts on YouTube, which I absolutely do not like. So I wish anyone who does that, please get a life and do not do YouTube ever in your life again.
Thank you so much, Ahan. Wonderful conversation with a wonderful boy. I'm sure he'll come up really well. But look at the knowledge and the base of kids today who are using artificial intelligence. They seem to be more confident, more in control, and I'm sure they'll do very, very well in life. Pratik, one last question.
Sure.
AI is touching everything.
Yep.
We all know that.
Yep.
Is there anything जिसको AI touch नहीं कर रहा है? Any profession, any work that you think will not be taken over by AI ever?
I don't think so. Taken over is a very big word. AI is
I would like to keep it there.
taken over. I don't think so. It's going to take over everything.
Hmm.
Like for example, there is a different value to an artist doing a painting versus an AI doing a painting. To be honest, that value will still remain, right? But I would say physical AI is still far away from becoming a reality, right? For example, robots might make sense in the US to do home chores. It will never make sense in India because house help is much cheaper in India, right? So it all depends on country to country as well, on what you need to use AI for and what's the purpose. But fundamentally, I feel everything will be touched in some way or the other.
So do you think engineers will be touched? They're already touched.
Engineers are
Right.
100% touched.
Do you
Those are the
think
first people to get
Do you
touched.
think doctors will be touched?
I think so. I convinced my father to take a ChatGPT subscription now for complex diseases, because he's a general practitioner, not an MD or
Right.
not a specialist. Now in specialist areas, when people come to him advice, he actually talks with ChatGPT and does a simple voice session. He's 73. He is able to click a button and just talk to it and say, "This is the symptoms people are saying. I feel it's this disease. What do you think?" So he's able to have those conversations very easily. Now he has the knowledge of what global doctors have at the palm of his hands, so he's going to leverage that. Doctors are leveraging. In fact, there was a recent study that people are able to do X-ray reading much faster as compared to humans, and actually much predicting earlier patterns much better than humans. right? So it's going to touch.
It's going to touch for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, for
But
sure.
threats नहीं है ऐसे नहीं कि डॉक्टर्स की जॉब चली जाएंगी
I don't
डॉक्टर्स नहीं
think
रहेंगे
so.
that's not going to
I
happen
don't think
right
so. I think it's going to make doctors faster
Right.
apart from anything else.
very far-fetched question
Yeah, yeah.
do you think after 50 years countries are going to be run by AIs and government is not required
A very tough question to answer. I don't think so. I think that unless you actually give AI control over everything and they've taken over the world, Terminator-like scenario, I don't think so. I think people are very possessive about their humanity, and I feel even governments will maintain their control.
so government is one thing which is not going to be touched by the artificial intelligence
I think so. Yes,
that's the
they're
answer
going
I
to be
wanted to
aided. They're going to be aided by it, but I don't think so. They are.
yeah
getting
but thank you so much Pratik it's a lovely conversation
lovely
I've heard so much and in fact learned so much from you
Same.
but thank you so much for coming thank you
Thank you. It was
Thank you.
very